Alright, let me put you onto a dude that most people under 40 have never heard of. And yet, he might be the strongest pound for pound man to ever walk on two legs. His name is Dennis Rodgers, the guy who bends wrenches, tears decks of cards like they're receipts, and is capable of holding back motorcycles trying to take off. But here's the twist. Dennis didn't become a monster through heavy squats, heavy bench, or years of powerlifting means. He used isometrics, the same style of training we talk about on this channel all the time, but taken to an absolutely insane level. Today I'm going to break down how Dennis Rodgers accidentally discovered an ultra effective style of strength training, why modern exercise science now confirms his methods, and whether his approach still works today. Stay with me because in the middle of this video everything is going to click. Let's get into it. A small kid, 110, 150 pounds soaking wet, bullied constantly, not genetically gifted, nothing about this dude screams future strongman. Then one day someone shows him old school feats of strength, bending steel, ripping pads, all that circus stuff. And instead of doing what everyone else did and hitting heavy weights, Dennis asked, what muscles do these strong men use right before the steel bends? And that question launched the rest of his life. He realized it wasn't about size, it was about tendon strength, neural strength, and intermuscular coordination. In other words, isometric power. Dennis trained three categories. One was bracing isometrics, maximal tension while taking an object just before it moves. An example would be trying to bend a wrench as hard as possible for 6 to 10 seconds. This built insane neural recruitment. The second was positional overload, holding impossible positions against unyielding objects, trying to break something that couldn't break. This strengthened tendons and connective tissues. And a third was lockdown training, creating full body irradiation. The same phenomenon Dr. Yuri Verkhoshansky wrote about, and also a name that has been mentioned a ton on this channel. This turns your whole body into one unit instead of separate muscle groups. The man basically built a whole isometric universe before the science even caught up. And here's the wild part. Everything Dennis has figured out through instinct, modern research now backs completely. Studies from places like the Journal of Applied Physiology, European Journal of Sports Science, the NSCA, they all show that overcoming isometrics equal peak neural drive, positional isometrics equal tendon remodeling and stiffness gains, high intense static efforts equal fast increases in force production, and irradiation training creates massive global strength boosts. Dennis was doing this before anyone had PubMed. He was literally 30 years ahead of his time. Now, does his method still work today? Yes, but with some updates. Dennis was training for feats, not aesthetics. He built maximal force, not pump hypertrophy. So, for the average viewer, his method works best when used as your strength foundation, and then you layer modern methods, yielding isos, eccentrics, mobility on top. But in terms of raw power, this approach might still be the king. You want insane grip? You want brutal tendon strength? You want that one arm feels like hydraulics vibe? Dennis Rodgers is your guy. So should you even train like Dennis? Well, here's the truth. If you're chasing pure raw power, yes, absolutely. If you're over 40 and want bulletproof joints, yes, but use controlled position. If you're a hypertrophy guy, use Dennis style isos at the start of your workout, then follow with tension-based movements afterward. And if you just want YouTube-worthy party tricks like bending stuff, well, then you might also end up with your own Discovery Channel special. Dennis Rodgers wasn't born strong. He engineered strength by figuring out how the body really produces force. Not with ego lifting, but with intent and isometric mastery. If you want a breakdown of his exact training list, there's a link to his website where you can check all of that out. And hey, if you want to see a video where I compare absolute legends like Atlas, Rodgers, Zass, and even Bruce Lee, yes, he used isometrics. How do you think his small body was so powerful? It's only 135. If you want to see all that, just say the word, and we'll see you in the next.